All right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. We have got a lot of spicy ones in today's video. Two of the biggest names in the Apex Legends esports scene going at it head to head over on Twitter. Matter of fact, I feel like I have one of the best memes in all of this. I'll show you guys later as well. So also, we've got more Gauntlet League updates. So if you guys want to stay up to date, all things Apex Legends esports related, because we're not only talking about drama between these two pro players that are very high class and high profile, but also them kind of like throwing the devs in the mix of this and kind of throwing the devs, I guess, a little bit under the bus, or kind of like a, you know, like a little call out for the devs, I guess you will, or the devs even listening to what the pro scene wants in this game. Well, all of that in today's video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go ahead and dive right into this. First thing I wanted to mention, coming from the Gauntlet League, if you guys were not aware, these 1v1 leagues are going insane, and this was Nickmercs himself, the own host of the Gauntlet League, on the tripods, popping off in a 1v3. I really wish I could know what team they did this against, but unfortunately don't really know that information. However, really, exciting stuff to see the host of the tournament getting involved in his own stuff as well and popping off, doing pretty good in it as well. So good stuff to see. Nickmercs getting better and better each and every day, and we'll see how the tripods continue over into year 4 of ALGS. I honestly thought this team might give it up and might decide to part ways after all of these tournaments were over, because I just didn't know if tripods had it in them anymore. But it seems like Nick is not giving up, and he's still going at it pretty hard as well. So good to see over there from the Nickmercs squad. Also wanted to mention some of these other clutches that are going on. We're just seeing all kind of names get their breakout moments, and now I'm seeing crazy plays coming from these guys as well that is just absolutely nasty, and it's really nice to see. And this was Jet himself on the tripods with an insane clip as well. I mean, it just goes to show you how good the pros are, because some of these guys that are in the calls with them are watching these clips happen, and they're just like, wow, like holy crap, like these guys are just so good. So the professionals are obviously up here. I think a lot of the tier 2 players are a little bit down here, but some of them tier 2 players can honestly kind of go up there as well. And then on the backside, you got losers like me who just absolutely suck at the game and are amazed by everybody. So also wanted to mention the overall stats. This was kind of like a sneak peek. It was actually coming from Zainu. But if you take a look at these stats, these were the overalls for the day. In day 3, you can see Zainu popping off for that day. And then Vayne also doing good. It tied with 194 points. However, Zainu did have one less game, 9 instead of 10. But then when you look at the overall, looks like Vayne has overtaken Verhulst again. And although Verhulst is an absolute beast, and we talked about that yesterday, I think Vayne is really not getting the full credit he deserves, because look at Vayne's points, 1382, and then look at Verhulst, 1300, and then also note Vayne has 5 less total games played than Verhulst as well, and also much more kills than Verhulst as well. So it's just insane how many people overlook Vayne. I mean, the BR demons, man, they are just really demonic. They're crazy. Now Zainu's also worth noting in this, only 23 games instead of 30 like Vayne, and still in 3rd place. Very typical as well. Now here's where the drama all began to unfold, coming from TSM Imperial How, coming from Snipedown, and the devs getting in the mix in this as well. This is where things got crazy. It started off with Imperial How posting this rant over on Twitter saying, I just love getting mega nerfed right before the biggest Apex tournament to date, with less than a month given to practice, and expected to just quote adapt because the devs are just completely out of touch with the comp scene. Now, what's he talking about? He's specifically talking about this POI changes that were basically, there's no longer a set spawn rate of the ring console landing at that certain POI. Now every single POI in the game got an update with the patch notes where it's all 50-50. There's no telling if the ring console is actually going to land there or not. It's just completely all even, all random, and no one really knows, which a lot of people were concerned, because there are POIs that are better than other POIs, and there's POIs that have a better spawn rate of the ring console. Therefore, you want to fight for those POIs because you want more consistent games. So that's why you see a lot of these contests. But now, if there's no good chance of a guarantee of a ring console spawning there, it's really only about loot. Therefore, all the POIs are a little bit more equal, and therefore some of the pro players were concerned that what would you even want to contest for? What are the POIs even about at this point if there's no benefit to winning a contest? I think TSM's obviously frustrated because they're very likely to win their contest. They're very good at winning their contest. Therefore, they really like to have that advantage, right? They go forward with some kills starting off, also with a ring console. I mean, it just gives them a little bit more of an edge and a bump off the start, which is fair play to them. Winning contests is not always the easiest thing. However, some other players, and I would say a lot of other pro players, actually do like the changes And so here is what Hal had to say. Not only did he say this, he followed it up by saying, I had a call with a one-on-one with a developer to Apex to discuss some of the changes to Apex comp, and I was asked specifically if they should change the percentage of beacons for POIs, and I told them definitely not. Then probably a day after, they actually changed it. Then they wonder why the F I don't give my opinions. I just get spit in the face the next day. One more thing, they nerfed the loot on all maps, but didn't touch certain POIs with guaranteed loot harvester, countdown, mill, etc., which aka Dark Zero land. So I'm getting my bank account that they will win champs, but no pro teams even realize that because they are brain dead in before someone tells me to contest them with less than a month of practice. LOL. So a lot of comments coming out of this. Snipedown being one chimes in here saying that this is one of the best comp Apex changes that we've actually seen. There is no reason you should get 90% spawn rates on some of these beacons and some of the best loot zone POIs in the game. I'm not speaking directly at your team, but in general, this makes so much, this whole update is a lot more balanced and makes a lot more sense. Zero was saying the same thing. Apex making huge changes before tournaments is definitely lame, but I still think that the beacon spawn rate should be more like this anyway. I think that they should be tweaked further instead of just being entirely equal, but they definitely are way more balanced now, which is good. Now, there's also a little bit of animosity here just because, it is kind of weird. Snipedown used to team with TSM and then he left for Halo. You also wonder, looking back, would Snipedown have ever made a roster change with his TSM if he never went to Halo? Like, if he would have never went for Halo at all, would he still be on TSM to this day, or would he have found himself on a roster change pretty shortly as well? Would TSM actually have the success that they're having right now? I don't really know. I feel like Evan might be a little bit better in my opinion, but just kind of out there and a little bit of opinion doesn't really matter. But Imperial Hal did respond to this, and he says we get the best POIs because teams like you can't fight for anything off spawn. Since you and so many other teams get skill gapped, you cry about RNG with spawn rate. Then Snipedown responds and says we have defended our POIs from any team that has challenged us at them, and then you're supposed to be the best team crying 2 weeks into scrims about a dev not listening to you and only turning the RNG factor into an even playing field for all. It's not really that deep. What I also found weird here was, normally I feel like Imperial Hal probably gets more of the likes here or ratios or whatever, but Snipedown was kind of, not that this means anything, but Snipedown was kind of ratioing him on every single tweet, which I thought was odd, a little bit different. And so Hal responds and says, first of all, I can cry and still be the best in the game. Second of all, if you landed at a good POI in the first place, your brain would comprehend what I'm saying. Lastly, I've complained for the last last year, maybe 2 years, and still won. So stay in your lane, old man, under first place. Crazy stuff out of Hal. You love to see the beef, though. I love to see it. Snipedown responds to this, though, and he says, you wrote the same thing in steps 1 and 2 here, boss. And complaining is fine, but thinking you got spit in the face because you didn't get listened to is just being entitled. Absolutely insane. This is actually the one time he didn't ratio him. I think it's because Hal said old man. I mean, everybody likes, the memes and stuff. He says, we both know that at this point, it doesn't work like that. I also love our POIs, so no complaints here. Hal responds, says, the way that I'm entitled to my opinion is the same way that you feel entitled that it's right that POI beacon change is a good thing and should be a thing. You haven't talked to the devs as much as I have, and they've always looked the other way. So yes, it is a spit in the face. Lastly, Snipedown responds, says, you can't write it off as if I haven't been through this as well. There's a reason that I don't work as close with the devs, because I've written pages, I've gone to testing events, I've sat down with devs and gave opinions where I knew positive changes could be, and they just get drowned out. Everyone can have their own opinion. No one is entitled to the result of it, and I would just be as fine as ever if the change never happened. So that is the interesting conversation that everybody is talking about. Now, the funny meme that I had posted shortly after all of this was the fact that, whenever Snipedown and Hal go at it on the timeline, here's your boy jmeyels cashing out with the drama videos. So just good stuff to see, and I'll take it all day. Nonetheless, it is an interesting topic. Interested to see what you guys have to say as well. Minus Tempo also let us know with this mock-up land that they're running right now. Upper bracket plays at 10 p.m. PT. This was obviously today, and then lower bracket as well. A lot of changes here in these mock-up lands, and how's it going right now. Oddly enough, Sentinels have been doing insane. Sentinels was not necessarily a roster that I feel like a lot of people had on their radar as of late, just because they're kind of wishy-washy. Since the pickup of Koifel, though, Koifel has shown himself to be a very good asset to this team, and Sentinels on this mock-up land are doing really good. So overall right here, these are the results from group stages. Coming out number 1, Sentinels, XSET number 2, Alliance number 3, NRG number 4, FaZe, Singularity, all of this stuff. TSM is actually having a really rough time, and I think obviously reps being in, you know, not good of health and stuff, which we'll talk about in just a second. Obviously that's a big factor. Raven having a sub in, and things just aren't necessarily the regular TSM. I gotta say, it kind of worries me what TSM is going to do at this champs event. We're seeing how obviously not be too happy about some of the changes. We're seeing reps, you know, they're not able to play in these little mock-up lands, and TSM has been pretty dominant over the last couple of lands, you know, first place, second place. I don't know if we're going to see that in this event, but I really would like to. I kind of feel like going into this event and this champs, you're going to see TSM honestly like more of a dark horse, just because like of all the recent changes and updates, and you know, the way things have been going in scrims. You know, even though the tournaments would say that they're probably not a dark horse, I feel like they really have been as of late, just with the way the scrims and stuff is going. So also XSET, you know, just looking as good as ever. I'm actually surprised that XSET hasn't made more noise in the, you know, throughout the scene, you know, than what they have. They've been kind of lackluster compared to what I feel like their skill actually is. So, you know, interested to see what you guys have to say though. Results from the final stage lobby: XSET number 1, Sentinels realized, and just overall lower bracket plays tomorrow at 7 a.m. PT, upper bracket plays at 10 a.m. tomorrow as well. So a lot of good games tomorrow. Of course, make sure to check it out if you guys would like to know. Also, I feel like personally we'll be probably covering that stuff over on this channel as well. A little bit of an update to TSM reps. People have been wondering since yesterday's video. He went to urgent care. Things were not doing good. His back's been hurting. We've actually seen some similar updates in esports in general. Like sometimes pro players get physically injured, and it actually does really affect their career, or does affect their gameplay, or, you know, the tournaments that they're going on, the, you know, the leagues, or even like that season. It affects a lot. I actually saw in Call of Duty last year that, you know, Illy had a thumb injury, and because he plays on controller, obviously, like, it's a big deal, and he has to get subbed out for the rest of the year. And I can't imagine reps not being able to play because of some physical injury. It would really suck. And I think reps is just an awesome guy, and I would really like to see him back better than ever. So update, he says they did give him some medication. They're helping with the pain as well, but spasms, but in return they're making him really tired. Still can't bend over or even to pick up something, but it's getting better already, which is good to see. Gonna try not to take the meds and play tomorrow, so I should see you guys soon. Hopefully that all works out, and hopefully that my man is back in business pretty soon. Also wanted to mention a little bit of roster update. Obviously, if you guys probably remember CJ Cracked playing in Pro League for a short time, they did actually make a note that Bitfix has made a roster update releasing CJ Cracked, and unfortunately he will no longer be with that roster, but it seems like all is in good blood, no bad blood here. Thank you to Trix and Zurifer. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, to be honest with you. Honestly, Apex Legends, all you guys have really weird names. Half of them are unpronounceable, and I probably have been like trolled on many times for trying to put these stuff in video. I'm trying to, like, you know, help out the scene a little bit, get everybody's name out there. Let's talk about everybody, because, you know, we're trying to all support each other here and grow this esport, but you guys make it hard with some of these names. I mean, seriously, CJ Cracked is super easy, but Zurifer is just unbelievably hard. So anyways, that's the update. That team is no longer going to be together as well. Raven also says that they're looking for an emergency sub. This isn't really a roster change. We've seen last year, or the last 2 times, I think Snipedown was a sub for TSM once, because Snipedown obviously wasn't at the LAN. And then I think for split 2 playoffs, I think Mac was actually, pretty sure Alberlelli was the substitute for TSM at the last one. So looks like they're in need of an emergency substitute as well for this go round, just in case, you know, something goes wrong. Obviously TSM wants to be prepared, but you know, we'll just have to wait and see who this sub could possibly be. Let me know who you guys think would be a good sub for TSM down in the comment section below. Of course, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to stay up to date all things Apex Legends esports related. And just a little bit of a side note, we are doing a really big giveaway over on our brand new channel. This is totally unrelated. It's called Funnylicious. It's basically like a little, you know, meme, but not too memey channel. It's not like, you know, dank edge memes kind of stuff. It's more of like a fun little daily dose of TikTok, daily dose of YouTube shorts over here. The link is down in the comments if you guys want to support. We're giving away $500 worth of stuff. So you get an Xbox Series X, a PlayStation 5, Google Pods, AirPods, Scuff controller, Elite controller, Edge controller, whatever it is you want to get under $500, or you can even mix and match both for 500, whatever. Every single comment, every single like on every single video will count. So you get 1 entry per video, and it's going to end September the 15th. So all you got to do, you know, if you like all the videos, watch all the videos, comment on all the videos, you get a new entry for each one. That's the easiest way to win. See you guys in the next one. And until next time, here comes my daughter. Say goodbye. Perfect time. Say, see you later, Gators. Okay, play the outro music. And perfect time to interrupt me, by the way. Nice little interruption. Peace.